It was the largest single-person manhunt in the history of the FBI, a pursuit that lasted 18 years, cost over $80 million, and baffled America's top law enforcement minds. This was one of the most complex criminal cases in history. They called him the Unabomber, a phantom who sent bombs through the mail. At first, the FBI thought they were chasing a random madman. They were wrong. They were chasing a ghost, a genius. With an IQ of 167, he was a Harvard graduate and a mathematics professor. How does a man smarter than Einstein, a prodigy groomed at Harvard, transform into one of the deadliest domestic terrorists in US history? How did he outsmart the FBI for almost 2 decades? This is the story of the Unabomber. Theodore Kaczynski was born in 1942 to a Polish-American family outside Chicago. His parents nurtured his love for learning, and from the start, Ted displayed unusual brilliance. By the time he was in grade school, his mind was already years ahead of his classmates. He skipped 2 grades. He was always the youngest in the room, always the smartest and always the loneliest, alienated, misunderstood. A child genius cut off from the world around him. His only real friend was his younger brother, David. At just 16, Ted entered Harvard on a scholarship, an extraordinary achievement. But the loneliness only deepened. He was socially stunted, living in Spartan dorms, writing bitter letters to his mother, blaming her for pushing him so far ahead. At Harvard, something else happened. A secret experience that would quietly plant the seeds of his radical philosophy, seeds that would grow into the Unabomber. Despite the turmoil, his brilliance shined. He graduated from Harvard, then earned a PhD in mathematics from the University of Michigan by age 25. His doctoral thesis, so advanced, only a handful of mathematicians on Earth could even comprehend it. He was hired as a professor at UC Berkeley, the youngest in the department. 2 years later, he resigned, just walked away, not just from academia, but from society itself. By 1971, Ted had forged a radical belief that technology was destroying human freedom. To him, computers, television, and industrial systems weren't progress, they were prisons. He built a one-room cabin in the Montana wilderness. No electricity, no running water, no plumbing. He grew vegetables, hunted rabbits, and read obsessively at the local public library. He wanted to disappear. When his money ran out, Ted returned to Chicago, working at a phone factory managed by his brother David. He even went on a few dates with a co-worker. But Ted's strange intensity scared her off. The rejection broke him. The next day, David found the factory plastered with crude, angry poems aimed at the woman. When David confronted him, Ted refused to apologize. The brothers fought. David fired him. Alone once more, his resentment boiled over against his parents, his brother, women, society. Ted Kaczynski made a decision to strike back, using the very tools of science to wage war against modern civilization. With his genius, Ted taught himself bomb-making. He created crude devices, pieced together with scrap metal, batteries, and wood. His method, the US mail, anonymous, untraceable. The first bomb was sent in 1978 to Northwestern University, injuring a security guard. In 1979, he struck Northwestern again, burning a student. Later that year, a device exploded in the cargo bay of an American Airlines flight, forcing an emergency landing. This was no prank. This was terrorism. The FBI connected the dots. Unabomber, university and airline bomber. But the trail was cold. No prints, no hair, no fibers, nothing. Ted Kaczynski was a ghost. Bomb after bomb, Ted improved his craft. He signed his work with FC, the Freedom Club. The casualties mounted. University professors, airline executives, psychologists. One victim was a professor Ted had once consulted for help. Years later, he mailed him a bomb, revenge, wrapped in wood and wire. December 11th, 1985. Hugh Scruton became the first person to die at the hands of the Unabomber. Ted wrote in his journal, "Excellent. Finally, the bomb achieved its purpose. A very humane way to kill a person. He probably didn't feel anything." For the first time, in 1987, someone saw him. A woman in Salt Lake City spotted a man in a hooded sweatshirt and aviator sunglasses placing a package. It led to a vague sketch. Glasses, hood, shadowed face. It wasn't much, but it was the first glimpse of America's most wanted man. For 9 years, the Unabomber waged war. Bombs, death, and fear. The FBI knew they were up against a meticulous, disciplined genius, but they didn't know his name, his motive, or that the key to catching him was hidden inside his own family. The manhunt continued. The genius remained hidden, but soon the Unabomber would make his greatest mistake. Thank you so much for watching Part 1. The hunt for this elusive killer is far from over. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss Part 2, where we'll explore the manifesto, the FBI's linguistic breakthrough, and the dramatic capture. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Shadow Quest and hit like and share to support the journey. See you in the next episode.